After declaring our absolute worship and placing our complete reliance in the divine, the seeking soul reaches the pivotal moment of divine petition with the words, "Guide us to the straight path." Having stripped away the illusions of human independence, the heart stands bare before its creator, recognizing that without constant, moment-by-moment divine illumination, it is bound to lose its way in the dense wilderness of worldly existence. In the vast architecture of the Quran, this single verse is profoundly unique because it represents the very first prayer that Allah teaches humanity to make. Before asking for health, wealth, success, or freedom from trials, the ultimate divine wisdom instructs us to ask for hidayah, guidance, signifying that the greatest blessing a human being can ever receive is not material abundance, but spiritual direction and clarity of vision. The Arabic word ihdina stems from hidayah, which carries a far richer meaning than simple intellectual direction. It implies a gentle, loving, step-by-step guidance that accompanies the traveler all the way to their final destination. It is the cry of a soul that realizes it does not merely need a map to look at, but a divine guide to actively hold its hand through every shadow of doubt, temptation, and spiritual blindness. When we look at this verse through the profound lens of Tasawwuf and Tazkiyah, we discover that asking for guidance is not a one-time event, but a continuous, dynamic necessity of the human spirit. The seeker does not ask guide us because they are completely lost, but because spiritual growth is an infinite ascension. The light needed for today's spiritual stage is far greater than the light that was required for yesterday. The concept of as-sirat al-mustaqim, the straight path, is described by the spiritual masters as the shortest, most direct line connecting the human heart to the divine presence. Unlike worldly paths that wind through endless distractions, compromises, and dead ends, this divine path is straight, clear, and unyielding in its truth, anchoring the human consciousness in absolute reality. The word mustaqim carries the root meaning of standing upright, balance, and unwavering stability. The straight path is therefore the path of ultimate spiritual equilibrium, keeping the seeker perfectly balanced between hope and fear, between internal contemplation and outward action, and between personal purification and compassion for creation. To truly awaken the soul, one must realize that the greatest obstacles along as-sirat al-mustaqim are not external physical barriers, but the subtle, hidden traps of the lower self, the nafs. Arrogance, subtle hypocrisy, spiritual pride, and attachment to worldly validation are constantly pulling the heart off-center, tempting the traveler to deviate into the crooked side paths of ego and self-delusion. This is precisely why we are instructed to pray for this guidance dozens of times every single day in our mandatory prayers. It serves as a continuous spiritual recalibration, reminding the soul that no matter how much knowledge we accumulate or how many righteous deeds we perform, we can never afford to become spiritually self-satisfied or complacent. The prayer for hidayah shatters the dangerous illusion of spiritual elitism, forcing the seeker to remain in a perpetual state of humility, inkisar. It teaches us that guidance is not a permanent personal possession that we own, but a continuous stream of divine grace that must be humbly requested with every single breath we draw. In the journey of ma'rifat, the deep, experiential knowledge of the Creator, as-sirat al-mustaqim is recognized not merely as an external road we walk upon, but as an internal transformation of character. To walk the straight path means to align our internal thoughts, intentions, and desires so harmoniously with divine truth that our entire existence becomes a living reflection of light. Notice once again the beautiful use of the collective pronoun, guide us. The seeker does not pray in isolation, asking only for their own individual salvation, but expands their heart to embrace all of humanity. This collective petition roots out selfishness from the soul, nurturing a profound state of universal empathy where we genuinely long for every heart to taste the peace of divine guidance. The straight path is also the path of absolute sincerity, where every action is cleansed of secondary motives. When a traveler walks this path, they do not seek worldly praise, nor do they fear human criticism. Their eyes are fixed firmly upon the pleasure of the beloved, rendering them completely immune to the fickle opinions of the creation. As the soul advances along this path, it begins to experience a profound sense of inner stillness amidst the storm of worldly events. While the material world around them fluctuates wildly between joy and sorrow, gain and loss, the soul anchored in as-sirat al-mustaqim remains serenely poised, resting peacefully in the unshakable certainty of divine wisdom. Every single time you utter ihdinas sirat al-mustaqim in your prayer, allow your heart to fully feel its inherent poverty before the Almighty. Let the words melt away your self-reliance, opening your inner heart to receive the divine rays of light that clarify your mind, purify your motives, and keep your feet firmly planted on the road to eternal peace.